Just like so many fans predicted from the very beginning, Lord of the Rings of Power was an absolute disaster for Amazon. The most expensive TV series ever created, and the fans despised it. They hated it because it destroyed the world of Middle-earth. They hated it because it took J.R.R. Tolkien's lore, tore it up, threw it in the garbage, and then blamed fans for not liking what they did to it. It was infested with identity politics. The writing was absolutely horrendous along with the acting. And when it was all said and done, the fans did not like this. Amazon tried their best to protect it, but they couldn't. And even the people that did give this thing a try didn't like it either. Only 37% of US Lord of the Rings of Power viewers finished season 1. To put that in perspective, 50% mark is about where they normally just cancel things. If you can't retain 50% of your audience from beginning to end of the series, they usually just shit can it and say, all right, we're done with that, not worth the time. With Rings of Power, however, we're getting another season 2, another one of the most expensive seasons of television ever produced. It's going to be a failure once again. And what are the cast and crew doing already a year before this thing comes out? That's right. They're using the same tactics they did before, the same tactics that drove fans away. They're blaming fans. They're calling them racist if you don't like our show. Rings of Power stars slam racist trolls who oppose diverse castings. Well, when it's all said and done, the castings were the least of some people's problems, to be honest with you, but it did show exactly where their minds were at. When we started getting these castings announced, oh wait, you race swap this character, you put this race of people here, that doesn't make any sense. Tolkien wrote it the exact opposite way. There are plenty of people color you could use in Tolkien's world, but you decided to change things. You decided to bastardize the lore in order to push identity politics, and that let everybody know exactly what was going to be happening. And ironically, the character who got maybe the most criticism of all was Galadriel. You didn't race swap her, did you? Yet she was a huge problem for so many people. And it's funny because even CBR, the hack website that, published this article, their tweet that they put out an hour ago is already getting ratioed. I mean, here's Jane Theory. She's probably going to ratio them pretty soon, even 50 likes to 50 likes, but 76 comments already on this post. Sad and pathetic, but this is CBR. But it's certainly not a surprise that these same idiots, these same morons who thought that attacking the fans was the right way to go to promote this thing in the first place are still doing the exact same thing for season 2. People in the entertainment industry, they're not exactly the smartest. They're not exactly the brightest. They tend to do things again and again and again and repeatedly fail. That's what we're seeing with Rings of Power. Lord of the Rings of Power was well received by viewers and critics upon its debut. Really? Really, it was well received by critics and viewers. This paints a different story, doesn't it? Even Amazon had to deactivate their own ratings because people hated it. They changed the IMDb ratings because people hated it. And by the way, Amazon owns IMDb. You can try to spin this a lot of different ways, but one thing you can't say is that it was well received by viewers. We just pointed out even the numbers indicate this, that only 30% of people actually got through this entire series. So no, CBR, it wasn't well received by the audience. It wasn't well received by the fans. The show has, however, suffered backlash from toxic fandom for the racial diversity of its cast, and some cast members are firing back. I mean, it's infuriating, Owain Arthur told Variety this weekend. Arthur plays Prince Durin in the series. Like you go, oh God, really? Are we still there as a human race? That drives me wild. The guys have been through a lot to be on the receiving end of things. I hope one day we will, as a human race, just be one. And I mean, it sounds pathetic or dramatic, but genuinely just stop racism. Once again, this was the first indication we had that they were going against Tolkien's lore. People didn't just see a black actor and say, I don't want that in Lord of the Rings. The problem was the characters that they decided to change, even individual race swaps of characters that Tolkien had described a completely different way. It went against the pre-established lore. And when people saw that, they realized that Amazon had an agenda. And then they listened to these people go out there and talk. They listened to these actors, these producers, these showrunners go out there and slam fans and say, if you don't like the way we're bastardizing Tolkien, you're just a bigot. You're just a racist, and there's no room for you here. Well, those people listen, and that's why season 1 of Amazon's Lord of the Rings of Power was a disaster with the ratings, with the audience score, everything. It was a complete and total flop for the most expensive TV series ever created. And this is the way they're starting off with season 2. Actor Cynthia Day Robinson, the one who plays Muriel in this, Quote, what I'm looking forward to is moving to season 2 is allowing that conversation in the past and just plow ahead. When you have progress, it's like we're not going to go backward from the thing we've established. I'm ready to acknowledge it and move on from it because I think we've said all there is to say, really. I know that I have. Well, that's probably not true. I think you're going to continue to milk this just like we've seen from the person who plays Arondir, actor Ishmael Cruz Cordova. He said a whole bunch of stuff. He said, I got threats, my stuff got hacked, all these terrible things happened to me. I didn't show anyone any evidence. I didn't show any proof. I didn't show any of these messages, but just trust me, bro. It really happened. And this is the tactic that they've decided to use. The same one that failed for season 1, attacking the fans, labeling them racist. That's what they're going to do for season 2. Somehow, I think it's going to have a similar ending. Somehow, I think that people are once again going to reject Rings of Power Season 2 because it's not Tolkien, it's not Lord of the Rings. It shows no respect at all for the source material. It only exists to bastardize it, and fans have had enough. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.